views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCNTV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCNTV Network claims no rights to the said content. TCNTV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCNTV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program.
What's going to be happening in the next couple of days now? I don't know how involved I'll be getting in with them, but how did that come to be?
Yeah, so...
See that? See? But no, really though,
that to me is confounding and confusing in that.
That we now have on our roster is growing, and we have a lot of new shows here. I'm only going to offer solutions on the show. I'm not going to do what everyone else is doing right now and talking about how many people got shot, when it happened, how it happened. We know what's happening. We're past that now. We don't need to keep pushing that narrative.
Events like Social Media Week are great because they bring a bunch of people together from a bunch of different industries to really think and focus on the future of digital marketing.
Events like this that sort of force those conversations and those connections can really be great ways to spark more innovation, more focus, more investment in the digital world, and I think that's good.
Social Media Week has done a great job of getting an awesome audience together to think about what the future of social media looks like. Social Media Week is a devotion to people just talking about social media.
Social Media Week is important because it just gives another and a particularly unique opportunity for the industry to come together and sort out big issues like how do we make sure that the world can be connected all at the same time.
Hey y'all, what's good? How y'all doing?
Hi guys.
Welcome to In the Now.
Can you hear me now? Was she not doing it?
Not.
So I'm good this week. Guys, hey,
Sorry.
What up? It's Friday.
Indeed.
It's Friday.
Can you guys hear me clearly?
Friday.
Okay.
So, guys.
Hi.
Hi, Christina. So listen, your hair looks very like.
I need to do it.
No, but it looks moisturized, like you put berry oil.
LOL. It is so dry right now.
It looks moisturized.
Oh, my hairdresser, he's being weird. He's like, okay, I need a trim. Remember, we were talking about this.
We're already off topic.
I was talking about how my hair is shedding, right? So my hairdresser is like, he's not refusing, but he's like, you need to do a protective style. And I don't like protective styles because my hair is thick and it's also long. So protective styles are heavy unless it's like weave. Like sew-ins are great.
Oh,
I love
hate weave
sew-ins.
They're so annoying. I can't stand a weave. I've worn a weave once in my life.
Wow.
Hate weaves. They're so gross. Have you smelled someone's hair after 2 weeks of them wearing a weave? It's so nasty. Sorry, I'm a braids girl. Okay.
Braids are too heavy for me. So anyway, Ricardo was like, listen, I can do a trim for you, but yeah, he's a guy. He's the best. Like, honestly, I'm told this all the time, right?
So why don't you have a female hairdresser? You want to be female identified.
Guys, this is the reason why I love Ricardo so much. Every single hairdresser I've ever been to in my life has hated doing my hair, except for one. They always complain about how it's too long, or they want to perm it, or they want to cut it. And they've just had this animosity towards my hair. Ricardo was the first person ever who showed true actual love and care to my hair. And that's why I will always go to him. Yes, he's far. He's on Bloor. But anyway, what I was saying.
You're losing focus. What does this have to do with Social Media Week? Guys, welcome to In the Now. We haven't even welcomed everybody. You're sitting here talking about your hair issues because she's sitting outside holding out split ends. Is this broken by the split, or is it broken by the ball? I was like, guy.
It was shed hair, which is great. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about Social Media Week because that's where I was earlier this week. And it was really good. I had a lot of fun at Social Media Week.
What are you going to teach us so that we can all get better at social media? One thing she can teach us is social media, but she can't teach about sending documents. This girl sent the script this morning, and it had all type of encrypted messages. I had to like put through my blood.
People, it was a zip file.
It's not a zip file.
A zip.
Selena is my
file.
No, Selena is my proof that it was too difficult to get in instead of just simplified. But I'm sure you're gonna simplify some things. Social media week.
A simple zip. You know what? Like sometimes you act your age and sometimes you don't. And this is one of those moments where it's like, wow, like this lady's really. Anyway.
You call me a lady?
I did call you a lady.
She's so. She does these little undertone things to age me, but I'm gonna allow you. Social media week. Go ahead.
It was good. I had a lot of fun. You know what? I'm not gonna say that because that's not true. Because I think they'll put it not in a bad light, but more so if you wanted to actually learn, you should have been there. In my personal opinion, of all the tech events I went to this year, this was the one where literally, like, as soon as I left, I was able to put into practice what they shared.
Teach us.
So I'm gonna try and go through this. I mean, we have time. I feel we have time, but
You spent like 5 minutes talking about your story.
it's a part of who I am. It's a part of my identity.
Keep going.
But yeah, Social Media Week was really good. I only went for one day. It wasn't even like a week. It was 3 days. But I understand because like the first day was Remembrance Day, so fine, no problem. But I specifically went for day 2 because that had all the topics that interested me. And I wanted to learn more about Twitter. I wanted to learn more about Pinterest and especially TikTok, which I've spoken to you guys about before. So I actually learned actionable steps and things that I can use and apply on the platforms, which was really good. So first, we're going to talk about Twitter. So I was able to connect with Michelle Slater, who is the head of business marketing at Twitter. So
Look at you, bougie.
Right? So I actually was able to, we had like a little bit of a conversation on Twitter, and she gave like an amazing talk about how to properly launch using Twitter. So last week, I finished reading Gary Vee's Jab, Right Hook. And he spoke about how Twitter.
I'd be so proud of you.
I know.
Very proud of you.
I know. Yeah, and he was like, she was talking about how to properly launch on Twitter. And she gave examples.
When you say properly launch, what do you mean?
So, for example, when we come out with our line, right? Our merchandise and like our speaking events and like all of that stuff. For us to launch that properly, we need to have like some form of a plan. So this is how you would do that. This is how we would do that if we were to use Twitter.
Talk about it.
So
how we launch.
So if you are currently watching, you'll see the 5, is it 5 or is it 6? 5. The 5 different points that she suggested that you need to take before you launch something. So she said you need to learn before you launch. Personally, I feel you could interchange learn with listen because similar to what Gary Vee said in his book, Twitter is really a listening platform. It's a platform where you go to learn and to hear and to see what is actually happening on the ground. So before you launch anything, you need to be able to make sure that you actually understand what people are talking about and what's happening before you put out your product. The second step she said was to own your voice. And if you go back to the very first Twitter image, you'll see that there is a photo of the No Frills or the No Name campaign. Are you familiar with this campaign?
No.
Okay, so this is like a massive campaign that No Name was doing to promote their brand. Okay. So they speak in a really deadpan type of voice. So if you look at No Name, right? If you look at their actual branding, it's like beans or like green beans or like plum tomatoes. You see what I'm saying? It's really exactly. So as opposed to them trying to be like all like cool and jazzy, they just keep their voice exactly the same as they did on Twitter. Next, she spoke about how your influence is greater than your reach. And she used the Samsung campaign that they had with their new phone that's coming out. And I was retargeted for ads from that campaign a lot because I'm a creative. So she was talking about how you need to really focus on who your niche is, who your target demographic is. And you can, by listening, by making sure you're speaking in the right voice, you can build that community and be able to speak to them directly. Okay. So we're going to go into the next segment, but like I'm going to talk about the last 2 points that she brought up, And then I'm going to talk about Pinterest. And I learned a lot about
Love Pinterest.
I haven't actually started using the platform
That's my
yet,
beast.
but we're going to be using it soon.
So beautiful.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
My name is Trish Curling, and I am an online coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher, and your new host of Shaping Life, which is all about understanding that we have the ability and the control to take charge of our health and wellness. But we can't do it alone, and I can't wait to sit down with the best in the industry. Please tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. live here on the TCN Network.
Hey y'all, what's good?
Come on.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Friday.
So
Twitter.
we're gonna finish talking
Talk about Twitter. The launching of your
launching.
product or anything on.
Yeah. So first step was number 1, listen. Number 2, what was number 2?
Own your voice.
Own your voice. Number 3 was to influence, because influence is greater than reach. And now we're gonna talk about number 4, which is going big on the reveal.
Okay, hold on. I really want to stop there because I think this is important to distinguish. Reach and influence. What's the difference? Quickly.
So reach is like the number. So reaching the maximum number of people. So when you're doing any type of like advertising, a great way to see this would be like when you open your Instagram post, if you have a business Instagram account, you can check your insights and your reach would be how many people saw that post or got an impression of your post. However, not all reach is good. In this specific case, when you're trying to build up your community, you want that community to be focused on you. You want them to be people who are interested in what you're talking about, because then you can position yourself as a thought leader and grow your influence. So that's why influence is greater than reach. So yes, you may have a smaller community, but that community is more engaged and therefore they'll be more likely to buy. And that's why you need to spend, if you're going to be spending, or you need to focus a lot of your attention on when you're going to launch, which was the fourth aspect, right? So when it's your launch day, when you're about to drop that product, you want to really make sure you're pushing it, you're selling it, etc., etc. So she gave the example of how for the Joker movie, they spent 40% of their entire budget for the movie on launch day. So let's say, for example, if they had like $1 million, they spent 400,000 on just on that day. So you need to spend a lot of time and effort and energy and money, if that's something you're going to be doing, on launching on that day, not the build up, not the after the fact, the actual day.
That's where all your energy goes.
Yeah. And then the last pillar she spoke of, no worries, was about preparing to pivot. So when you're doing your launch, when you're doing your campaign, it's like, okay, if this isn't working, we need to change. So if you notice that, let's say a particular piece of creative is not working, switch it out quickly and go in a different direction.
Like in the now.
Exactly. So that's what I learned from Twitter. And I found like that is definitely something I'm going to keep in my arsenal for my clients, as well as like for my own personal brand, because that's something you really need to know. Like launching, you can't just launch. Like everybody everywhere is doing something. So having those steps prior to the launch, going up to the launch is super important. So now let's talk about your platform.
I love Pinterest.
And I've wanted to learn about the platform, but I just don't know how. And I don't want to like add another social network to like my
Very
roster.
easy,
Is it though?
Very easy. Okay. It's very, very easy. But go ahead, talk, because I may learn
So
some stuff from this.
I think I can understand why you like Pinterest because their mission is they want to become the world's inspiration company. That's their mission. And the title of this talk was actually called Stop Interrupting, Start Inspiring. And that's very you, that's very, very you.
I love it.
So they wanted to find out what replaced people going to the mall. So when they first started the talk, they were talking about how malls were dying and how people were no longer shopping at malls. So where were they shopping? So they noticed that everyone was shopping online. And so what they wanted to do was essentially be able to be, you want to go to Pinterest to get the inspiration you need to live your life.
Yes.
For the future. So they found out that the people who were using their platform were really future minded. I'm going to go on Pinterest because I want to know, for example, I have a Pinterest board that has all these elements that I want to use for my 30th birthday shoot. So I've gone in, I've got like my gold nail polish and my gold sprinkles and all this stuff and like how to do like the DIY for the background because I want to be inspired. I want to know like how to do these things ahead of my birthday, which is 1 month from now, y'all. So please remember, I take Amazon gift cards, Facebook ad credits, all of that stuff. Hey, December 15th.
You know what's messed up about you is that you're talking about Facebook ad credits to people who don't know what the hell you're talking
You
about.
guys know what an Amazon gift card is. I take those as well. Anyway.
Facebook.
Oh.
Girl. We don't do credit around here. Okay?
Wow. It's not even that serious. But yeah, so she wanted us to stop just advertising to people.
Yeah.
She wanted brands and like companies to like stop advertising, inspire people. And if you go to the next slide, she actually talks about 5 steps for which, was it 5? 5 different types of 5 different types of things to be aware of when you're building content and content that's inspiring. And this was really cool for me. I thought this was really cool because it made sense. The way she laid it out, it just made sense. So the 5 things you need to do when you're building inspiring content is this. Number 1, it needs to be visually appealing. You can't be using like ugly, grainy photos from your like Motorola Razr from like 1996 in your stuff. You want to inspire people. So for people to be inspired, the shot, the video, it needs to be good. Beautiful. It has to look good. Second, it needs to be novel. So novel meaning it has to be new, unique, and not necessarily like something like a new product. If you're like running a business, for my ladies or people running businesses, it doesn't have to be like you're creating this whole new product. It could just be like maybe if you have a body butter line, you're releasing a new scent, right? That's something novel. Maybe you came up with a new combo or like a new, not a new product, but something that's new and different, something novel. The third thing, it has to be positive. I mean, I think that's kind of obvious. If you're trying to inspire people with your content, it has to be positive. The fourth thing was it has to be attainable. So it has to be something that is within my grasp. It's within my reach. And the last thing, it has to be active. So it has to be something that I can actually do, which was something I found was like a recurring theme throughout the entire day I was there. Everything I learned was something I could actually apply and do. So for that, she also made 3 pairs of ways that you can match these 5 concepts together to create specifically ads for your business or campaigns. So if you're trying to get more brand awareness, you want more people to know about you on social media or even in any type of media, she says you want to make sure that your content is visually appealing and it's positive.
Oh, I see what she did. You use things and match them up.
Exactly.
I like it.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you're doing a new product launch, she wants you to use things that are visually appealing and novel. Again, like I said, you don't need to go and reinvent a new product. It could be just tweaking like one little thing on a product or one little thing on a service offering if you're like in a business type of situation. So for example, for me, I'm a web designer. It could be, okay, maybe we're not going to do 5-page websites. Maybe we're going to do like a 4-page website. Right? It's new. It's like, okay, why are you doing 5? Why are you doing 4 now? It's something different, right? Because 5 is typically like what people would call a small website. So if it's 4, okay, if it's 4, is it cheaper? Is it something that's more attainable for me? Can I actually buy and invest in this? Kind of see where I'm going?
Yeah, I do. I like it.
And product purchases, again, you're trying to make it attainable and active. So going back to the body butter example, It has to be something where I can actually see myself either going online to purchase this body butter, or you're giving me a call to action where it's like, okay, buy now, or view the video, or something like that. So that's what I learned at Pinterest, which I found was really good.
Love Pinterest.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
TikTok.
And last but not least, TikTok. So that was the panel for TikTok, and I know nothing about TikTok. I just know that people are getting famous off of TikTok. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like I don't understand this.
How are people getting viral off of this platform? So the one actionable step that Taylor, who's actually the guy in the red, said we should do is download the app and try and use it. He didn't say like create a campaign. He didn't say anything like that. He's like, download the app and try and use it. Okay. And I thought that was really impressive because not impressive, but more so like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I mean, if you want to like learn how to use it, download it and use it. Okay. So they spoke about how they really wanted to challenge people, especially people and businesses who were looking to maybe partner with TikTok influencers, but they should give them more creative reign over what they're trying to do. So one of the creators there, the guy who was like on the far right, he's actually 18 years old. He has like 3 million followers on TikTok, and he does campaigns for brands like, Baskin Robbins, and like Coke and all of these other people. And I was just like, I'm like, how? So he gave an example about how one company gave him full free reign to do something with their product, and it got like a couple 100,000 impressions. And this other brand gave him like really strict guidelines, and he wasn't able to get as much traction for it. And he's like, because people are trying to put such pressure on creators when they're trying to come up with their content, they're not actually letting them be authentic or be unique. And so because of that, you're unable to sell. So he was saying also how the demographic on TikTok, it does run younger because the platform is quite new, but he also said that they're more, not woke, but they're more like they can sense the bullshit faster. So if you're going to come onto TikTok and try and be like, hey, I'm trying to sell this, hey, I'm trying to sell that, they're not even going to pay attention to you. And so I personally felt like they did say that the app is still really new, the platform is still really new, so they're adding new features here and there. But I definitely feel like if you're trying to make impact, you could use TikTok to do that.
I'm going to try it.
I feel you should.
I'm just going to download it and see what it's about.
Okay.
I'm not going to fight it. I've stopped. Since you started the show with me, I've stopped fighting technology. Let it take over my soul.
Okay, not like that, but try some things.
Okay. When we come back, we're going to talk about
napping,
our favorite topic in the world.
Sleeping.
I love sleep. Yeah.
Feeling groggy, tired, or unmotivated in the afternoon? Using coffee, soda, and energy drinks, we often try to push through the dreaded long day, yawning through the hours and fighting the fatigue. But it just so happens that the solution is the very thing we've been trying to avoid all along: sleep. Truth is, the power nap is perhaps the most effective way to rejuvenate your brain. There are 4 main stages of your sleep cycle. The first 2 are relatively light sleep, while the third brings you into a deep slumber. The final stage, known as rapid eye movement, or REM for short, is where most of your dreams begin. The benefits of napping are tied to the length of time in which you're asleep. Naps 30 minutes in length generally only allow time to enter these first stages. In stage 1, slow eye movement begins, and if woken, you often feel as though you didn't even sleep. But as you continue into stage 2, your brain begins to inhibit processing and ignores external stimuli that it deems non-dangerous in order to relax you and give you a tranquil sleep. It also begins memory consolidation, in which information you learned is processed. Waking out of these stages has shown benefits including increased productivity, increased cognitive function, enhanced memory, boosted creativity, and most importantly, feeling less tired. Beyond 30 minutes, you enter stage 3 and experience something known as sleep inertia when awakened. Because your body is coming out of a deep sleep, motor dexterity is decreased while grogginess and the longing to go back to sleep increases. Many people falsely deem naps non-beneficial for themselves, but the truth is, they've simply napped too long.
Freshie dance?
I did not know that.
Dance.
That sounds like all freshie dances, but
Yeah, pretty much I can't even deny that. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome
So
back.
honestly, I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you too.
For you didn't let me finish.
Okay. Still appreciate you.
I appreciate you going to these events because I think that again, like as a young Black woman,
Mm-hmm.
you guys are not represented like this in
Yeah.
the field, and I really love the fact that that's you.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
You can happy.
there was something I totally forgot to.
No, your time is up. Sorry. If you want more, you can follow Christina on her Instagram pages. Everything's below where she is. She'll tell you the rest. Update them. At least they'll follow you. Look, I'm doing this for you.
That's not the point, though. It's indirect. Like I'll take 30 seconds. You can time me. We have a clock. Okay. So did you know that on the
28.
same day that the second did you know there was an influencer conference on the same day? I had no idea.
I didn't know there's a-
Yeah, I didn't know either. We're gonna go to that next year.
Yes. Maybe there's something else coming up earlier.
No, it's next year. It happened like on the same day. It happened on once. I didn't even know. I found it on Twitter. I'm gonna be on Twitter more often now, guys. Anyway, talk about napping now. That was all I had to say, really.
So that was millennial talk.
That has
So now
nothing
we're
to do with
gonna come
millennials.
to Generation X.
Because they like to sleep. 'Cause they're
Absolutely.
old.
And this is why I don't look wrinkle up and dry up and my face all toasty up because I hate naps. I'm a napper. So when I heard that they're opening these napping stations, like, especially there's one here in Toronto.
Is the one here in Brampton?
Anyhow, I'm going to go visit Nap It Up. This place is called Nap It Up. And it is actually Toronto's. By the way, you're only truly from Toronto if you say Toronto. We don't say Toronto. That means you're a foreigner. We say Toronto. Anyhow.
Wow.
It's true.
Okay.
We don't say the whole thing. Look at how nice this is. So this place.
Is it hygienic?
Stop. It has just opened up on the lower floor of the Young Eglinton Center, making it the only napping center in the city. There are 13 beds that you can rent. Let's see. And what is it called? I think it's right beside the Booker too. Just so there's more clear direction. And I'm going to go here. I've decided I'm going to go and take a nap and write about the experience. Definitely look out for it in Toronto Caribbean newspaper in the next couple weeks. I want to experience this. So for the sleep deprived people like myself, you guys can actually, and myself, can go there for 30 minutes for $10 for 25 minutes. $10 for 25 minutes. That's not bad. Think about that.
Fried rice and chicken wings.
But you can also sleep because chicken is bad for you. You should be eating meat. And $20,
That's not even true.
$20
Our ancestors ate meat.
$20 for 50. Focus.
You know what? I'm
Christina.
not even. You know what? This is me now saying I can't with you. I can't with you.
$20 for 55 minutes, and then $30 for an hour and a half. I would be on that $30 bad boy right there. So,
But you have a home. Like.
But what if
No,
I'm
I get
downtown?
it. I get it. I get it. I understand it. And would I use it? personally, no. But I love the concept, and I totally support the business 100%.
But what if
I just don't feel like it's for me. You know what I really like? They have this similar concept in, I feel it's Japan.
Yes, but can you let me tell the story?
Sorry. Carry on. We have breather spaces here, I think. In the now. Carry on.
Why don't you just...
No, it's okay.
No, you do it.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
So anyhow, guys, I'm not going to go on anymore about it because you guys need to check it out yourself.
I agree.
Go somewhere and take a nap. And I think it's beautiful.
Where's Young and Eglinton?
Truly someone who's not left for like 5-kilometer radius of her home.
That's very true.
I know, but you just asked where Young and Eglinton was.
Where is that?
Anyhow.
Is it like Scarborough?
No, it is not Scarborough.
North York?
Like closer to East York. Wouldn't you say, Selena? Yeah, it's close to her. I know that because I used to live in East York. So I know.
What's near East York?
This place called that. Okay, moving on. So, Breather. Breather is an app that rents out spaces by the half hour. Again, something that's happening.
Oh.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool. I thought you'd like this one. So, actually, it's happening in New York. So, Breather gives you and your team private space to focus and innovate, which I think
feel there's one in Toronto.
There is some here. Yeah.
Because I've used it twice. I did a client shoot there.
I think they're fantastic.
I love it.
So you can take the space and you can change it up. If you don't have a space for people maybe who work from home, if you don't have a space, you can go into these studio spaces and rent them out for 30 minutes, have your meetings, have photo shoots. I think it's awesome. Okay?
I agree.
Now, the good things about them that I've read is that they have people who are around 24/7 to book your stuff.
Oh.
There's over 500 locations in 10 cities worldwide.
Is that for Breather?
That's Breather.
Okay.
They come with whiteboards, mobile chargers, Wi-Fi, HDTV. Space.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Like the one in Toronto I went there twice. It's very, very nice. Very serene.
I think that's a cool one. And then I found another one that is kind of like a combo, but more so on the napping, but it includes meditation. It's called Recharge. So this is something that's actually only in this state. So so the napping is here in Toronto. We have one. We have breathers. But this one we don't have. It's called Recharge, and it was invented by Daniel Pericini. He said he was working up to 60 to 80 hours a week, and sometimes he just needed some space to clear his head, working in such a busy city like DC. So that you can actually take 20-minute power nap for $15. Just drop in. What else do they have? They have 35-minute meditation classes, which I think is really cool in the middle of the day. That'd be cool. No? Yeah. That's more me. I'd love to do this. So I would do the napping thing.
I mean, I definitely think it's cool. I actually, funny enough, on at Social Media Week, they had meditation stations.
See?
They did have it. I'll give you the actual name of the brand. It's called My Home. So they had meditation stations. So they had little, I don't know, have you been to a silent disco before?
Yes, I have.
So they had those. So they had the same headset. They put it on, and then they'd go through like meditation.
Because only someone in the 60s would say like disco.
It's hip. It's hot.
No, it was hip in the 60s.
Literally, they say it in the UK all the time.
But we're in Canada. And we're in Toronto.
Okay. Well, Toronto's behind, to be fair.
You just said it properly. So, what else do you get here? Just hold on with Recharge, because I think I want to do this. You get like green teas. They say that they change the mattresses.
Okay.
They wash.
By curtains, though, that's a bit thin.
Yeah, that would be my only thing. Because what if someone's a snorer? I'd be
pissed. You see what I'm saying?
If I'm trying to sleep and you're catching all type of Z's and your nostrils are flaring and I'm hearing your whole nose hole.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. I don't want. So that would be my only thing. Is like, do you have something that separates people who are snorers? Is that something that you say when you check in? These are questions that I have for the nap time place. Like, if I'm a snorer, I have like sleep apnea. Does this ban me from being here? Because my sleeping would interrupt. But again, you're not getting into a deep REM sleep, which is when snoring happens. It's only that 30 minutes. Remember, 30 minutes is the premium
No,
prime time, premium time.
I find that like when I have like naps, I have a headache when I wake up.
How long do you nap for?
20 minutes.
Not long enough. 30 minutes is your best option.
I
I do hour and a half because I'm a
I have an
professional
app
napper.
on my phone which is great. It's called Sleepy Time, and it helps you. It sets up your alarm according to your sleep cycle. So that's what I use, and it's scientifically proven. It actually works. So for example, if you go to sleep now, the app will tell you when to wake up for a full sleep cycle. It's really dope to get it. It's amazing. It works.
So
It
great
works.
minds like mine don't really abide by that. Just saying.
It's a great app.
Powerful minds sleep like sometimes we sleep 2 hours, sometimes we sleep 4. Depends on what we want to be creative. But some people, the millennials need these sleep apps to figure out how to damn well sleep. Anyhow, when we get back, we're done. When we get back,
Hello.
when we get back, we're gonna talk books. Because we decided, she decided,
I decided.
and I agreed that we should talk about literature. So
Yeah, every
we will
week.
do a little bit of some book talk.
Yeah.
On Here to Help. Wow.
See, this is why you need to cut down on the sleep time.
In the now. Guys soon.
My name is Trish Curling, and I am an online coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher, and your new host of Shaping Life, which is all about understanding that we have the ability and the control to take charge of our health and wellness. But we can't do it alone, and I can't wait to sit down with the best in the industry. Please tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. live here on the TCN Network.
Hey, what it do, baby?
Sorry, adjustments. Get to
Hi.
adjust some things.
All right, you go first.
Why do I have to go first? This is your idea. You go first.
Fair enough. Hey, everyone. Okay, so we're going to be...
beauty.
Sorry, what?
Youth before beauty. Go ahead.
Anyway. So we're going to have a new segment every episode, or we're going to try and do a new segment every episode where we talk about the books that we're reading every week.
Okay.
I'm currently on a challenge where I want to read a book every week. So I'm not sure when the challenge will end, but so far I'm 2 for 2. So last week I read Jab, 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 Right Hook, and the week before I read Show Your Work. So this week I was really like...
Book's not routine yet, so she'll probably fall off now.
Wow. So... that's the whole point of the challenge, to challenge you to like be better or whatever. So that's a big deal for me, like to finish a book in a week is really big. But yeah, so after I finished Jab, 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 Right Hook, I was like, I don't know what else to read. So I went and ordered books on Amazon, and then I used my brother's credit card because we shared the same Amazon account. So when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, no, I put the wrong card number in. So I sent him back his money, but then I didn't put my credit card in. So then Amazon was like, hey, you didn't pay for your book. And I'm like, oh, shoot. So I'm like, okay, so obviously my books are going to get here on time, but I still need to keep up with this challenge. So then I decided to read this book, which is a book I've been wanting to read for a while.
Paradoxical.
Thinking, yes.
Okay, I like it.
So it came out, I think, in the early noughties, but I'm not sure.
What year?
Noughties. I knew this would fuck her up. I knew it. That's how I said it.
You're so annoying. Anyhow, early 90s.
No, it's noughties. The noughties are from 2000 to 2010. I gotcha.
Talk about the book, Bridget, so we can talk about mine.
Anyway.
Hurry up.
So I was actually supposed to read this book a long time ago. And my dad's like, oh, don't read it. It'll confuse you. I'm like, what do you mean it'll confuse me? He's like, it'll confuse you. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I haven't read. It's been in my bookshelf for like, I'm going to say.
Have you read this thing, Guy?
No, I'm reading it right now. I'm in the process. 5 years. But like this week I was like, you know what? I got to keep up with this challenge. I need to read a book. So I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to read this book for a while.
I have a question.
I love this book.
What week? What are the days? Because the week is 7 days. So when did you start this book?
Tuesday.
And when did you start the book before? Have you even been keeping up on your weeks? Is there an app for that?
Maybe. You know what? You're probably right. There probably is an app for that. Because I have been. I have been keeping it up. Yeah.
Okay, so but technically the book is not done yet. So why are we talking about it now?
Because, I mean, obviously, the week's not over yet, and we don't have a show on Sunday. So we can't be like, oh, yeah, you know.
Let's talk about books that have actually been read. She's in the middle of paradox.
No, hold on.
So
hold on. I had a big question. What's your paradox? Do you know what your paradox is?
Can I read why don't you talk about the book when you finish reading
No.
it? And then I'll understand what you're trying to ask me.
No, here's how it works. This is the main premise for the book, okay?
I get to talk about my book.
You will. I promise. Okay. The main premise of the book is this. As humans, we are made up of paradoxes. And once we find out how to utilize our paradox, we become better performing people. So for me, my paradox is I am equally as strategic as I am flighty. So I do things.
You said it. I didn't say anything. You said
so I am equally as strategic as I am like really like I rush to do things or really fiery or really like not unorganized. I'm not unorganized, but I'm really like I'm like I'm really like that. Word. So that's my paradox. So
my paradox would be like brilliant, structured.
And then what's the negative side of that?
Has to be a paradox. Irritable.
See, that would be an incorrect paradox because they're not like opposite.
I get it.
But we'll get to it next week. Okay. Your turn. So you have time.
So it's like basically like the Great Connection where there's personality types. That's another thing talking about your goods and your bads. I know all my goods and bads, so I don't need to read it. But as a millennial, this is probably good for you. So for the older generation like myself, who's just learning,
see,
you've been so proud of
because
me.
You're old, that's why you read small books.
It doesn't. Wow, she thinks she has me.
You're on the ropes right now, but carry on.
Anyways, I don't have no fancy picture like she did, but I've been talking about these actually in my articles and in my shows on Here to Help. Mm-hmm. Media literacy, I thought you'd be proud of me. So we were talking about, again, being able to understand media, which is a whole new language. People don't understand. If you don't understand the language, you're going to get lost. It's just like, again, moving to a new country, not knowing the language, is kind of looking at people like, same. So I've been reading these to help myself get better at being media literate.
Okay.
And to share this with the community. Because, again, one of the things I've learned from you is that our community is behind on a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I think media literacy is one of them. One of these books is called Recognizing Bias, which is important for me because I'm a writer. So even when I'm presenting my work, I need to be aware of my biases and how I project some of my own thoughts and things onto people. And so very important. And then clickbait. Clickbait is another one. So clickbait is those little things that come up that may trigger you to try to click on it. That's what this is about. There's another one called Disinformation too, but I left that. So that's what I've been reading. And they're not very long. Total, each book's like 67 pages long. Not very long, but a book's a book. I don't care how long it is. That's what I'm doing now. She's hating. I've read way bigger books than you. So
I 100% believe you.
Anyways, guys, how about, okay, we're going to leave today, but we'll say this. I want you guys to make some book suggestions for us.
Yes, that would be dope. And then we could do like a book club.
She's pushing it. She's barely gotten through her routine of a book a week, but she want to do book club. Okay, guys. Anyhow, if you guys encourage her as much as you can.
I would appreciate that, family.
We'll see you next week. We have a guest next week.
We do.
Mr. Romaine.
White? Wait.
Actor.
Yes.
So I'll have some like brown sugar in here for the ladies.
Sure. I do like, okay, so
you have no time. We don't have any seconds left. So there's no time for any of your rants. Guys, we'll see you next week on In the Now.
Bye, y'all.